Good evening, Bitcoiners. And tonight we fly with Ariel Birdie, who has long been intrigued by civilization with her creative work inspired by ancient worlds and mythologies. She studied anthropology in pursuit of these interests, and her art is a meditation, a way to connect with nature, our life force, the grounding energy compared to the modern world, which often distracts us away from that. For Ariel, Bitcoin's perfection in design and function mimics nature and our conceptions of divinity, which we'll see in her artwork today. Her art is an homage to culture, a celebration of human achievement, and she has a series called The Gods of Bitcoin, which she's been working on and I think is continuing, which we will be seeing in Vegas coming up very soon.
Yes.
And it connects with many ancient. It connects the ancient icons of transcendence with the divinity of our technological recent inceptions of such power, such as Bitcoin. And her work has been featured in Bitcoin conferences, art galleries across the country, works commissioned and in private collections, Bitcoin Art Museum in Nashville. And we'll talk about it here. She just completed a real big series of projects, not yet seen, but will be exhibited for the first time in Vegas. And so with that, I am excited for this chat and to show off much of her artwork. Ariel, thank you for joining me today.
Fritz, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
So spring is in the air, and I've been hearing the birds tweet. I can feel it in these warming days. There's just kind of a shift going on. I think quite a few artists, I know they've been working on various works leading up to conferences. And so is it feeling like a shift of gears for you, where you've been pushing, working on stuff, and now it's kind of like near done? Are you feeling nearly done now?
Yeah. For this most recent conference for Vegas 26, I'm feeling very nearly done. Yeah, it's a really good feeling, actually. I know we had to reschedule because I was supposed to chat with you about a month ago, but I wanted to get past that, that final push. So
we had one scheduled and you were like, I am in the middle of trying to finish. And I can only imagine that feeling where you can't just have it done and drop it off. You got to pack this thing up, as we'll see, and get it shipped or something. So, because it's more than a painting in a frame in some cases here.
Yeah, there's a lot of work involved.
Yeah. Now, what we're going to see here in Vegas, is that somewhat a continuation of a theme of the gods of Bitcoin? Is that what we're going to see?
Yeah, absolutely. I have two pieces, and one is a Norse god, one of the most famous Norse gods, Odin, most commonly known as Odin. And then on the other side, I have another piece which is featuring a Hindu god, Krishna, but a baby version. It's a baby Krishna.
Okay, well, if you want to leap right into those, I'll show them on screen here. So
okay.
This is the Nordic god here.
Yep.
Let's and now it's not just this, beautiful as this is here, and you've incorporated gold leaf into a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You've got a whole display in a mantle, or what would you call this?
That's a tabernacle frame.
Tabernacle frame.
That's a tabernacle. Now, since I started framing my Bitcoin art, I commissioned a good friend of mine and a wonderful frame maker, Lucian Antonsen. And so he's made, I think, 6 other frames for me. And I threw this idea at him, I think like last fall. And I gave him a kind of a concept design, if you will. But I also like to give him free reign. But I just felt that the piece and the weight of Odin sitting here in this pose really deserves something like grandiose. So it is what it is. It's actually freestanding, so it can be hung, and it probably will be hung when it's exhibited. But it's also freestanding. It stands on its own. It's got the 2 feet at the bottom are about 5 inches wide. The depth is about 5 inches. Comes out that much.
Yeah. Now, just at first blush here, there's a lot to interpret about what he's contemplating right here. So he's got the Bitcoin throne and the ravens, and just his facial expression. It's like he's put in some proof of work, perhaps. I don't know. It's it conjures a lot of interesting thoughts, like a Mona Lisa, just kind of like, what's he
Absolutely.
thinking?
So the image itself, I rendered from a statue I found, called Sleeping Wotan, and Wotan is the Germanic form of Odin. And it was a statue, I believe, is marble originally, and it was 1900 in Germany. And from what I can find online, there's not a whole lot of pictures of it because it was destroyed in World War II. Um,
Oh,
so the image I found, it could be one of the replicas even, but it's Sleeping Wotan. So he's sitting there on his throne, looking down, and eyes a cast down, taking a nap. He's sleeping on it.
yeah. Appropriate rest for after a long day of creations.
Yeah.
Now, if you're open to sharing, now you had mentioned in the past an inspiration for the General Gods of Bitcoin series, that maybe it came as a kind of a download experience. Is that something particular that you find interesting still, or that hits you special hard?
Um, Download by, like, I
Like,
just got the idea to do it for.
yeah, you mentioned it on another podcast that it kind of came to you as a download. Was it
Oh,
was it
okay.
a certain inspiration, or do you
Yeah.
remember how it came to you?
Well, I do remember originally. So I started Gods of Bitcoin in 2020, and someone had mentioned, is Bitcoin divine inspiration? Is it divine inspiration? I mean, then there's that concept, what is divine inspiration? But I
Hmm.
just really thought of that concept, and then uh, right thereafter, I started a sketch of Jesus, and doing Bitcoin Jesus, and there's also so many different motifs of Jesus and what is he doing. You have,
Hmm.
like Jesus on a cross. You have, you know, Sacred Heart Jesus is, I went with a Sacred Heart Jesus, putting the Bitcoin inside the heart. And yeah, I was contemplating about Bitcoin being divine inspiration, and have these concepts of, where do we where do we find our inspiration? Why is Bitcoin feel so perfect?
Right.
What is perfection really? Is there such a thing? And I also, I liked the comedic aspect of it. I thought also, like, when I first got the idea, I was like, oh, is someone else doing Bitcoin Jesus? There's got to be a Bitcoin Jesus around. And look, I kind of searched, and, like, I saw a few, like, kind of pretty generic, like, digitally rendered Jesus Bitcoin things, and I was like, oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
So, obviously someone's already thought about that, and but it didn't stop me. And I just really had a really fulfilled time creating that first piece of Bitcoin Jesus, and pairing the two. It just seemed
Yeah.
like a really lovely pairing to me, and it ran through my mind that it could be, um, offensive,
Mm.
or on the opposite, like, really embraced. But it is what it is. But I also thought of, if I am perhaps offending someone, because those concepts, they don't melt for them, or they, it's too serious. Don't mess with something that's that serious. That made me laugh, and so I had a big laugh the whole time I was working on Jesus. I love fleshing him out. It was fun.
Yeah. Uh, and anyone who would be offended by that, I think, probably would have a rough time with Bitcoin or the Bitcoin culture generally, or anyway, or they're a little wound tight. And you're not poking fun by any means. This is the one you're referring to, I presume.
Yeah, well, that was one of my first ones that I put together. Yeah.
Yeah. There have been people with that nickname, but as far as art goes, and you're not prescriptive in terms of, the divine mythologies in our cultures throughout history. I mean, you cover a lot of bases here. So um, here's the Hindu elephant version.
Ganesh.
Ganesh.
Ganesh. Yeah.
Ganesh.
Ganesh.
Now you started out with the fine ink lines, and now you then incorporated gold leaf. That's got to be a little delicate, I would just presume. I've not worked with it, but it's um, a lot of work, I imagine.
The gold leaf's really delicate to work with. It's very fine. It's weightless actually. It just blows around. So you have to get very very gently cut a little space or a shape that you want to work with, and then you have to lift it up and hope it doesn't blow off of your tool that you're using. I'll
Hold
either
your
use
breath.
yeah, you have to hold your breath. It takes a second. You have to kind of get in the zone.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this one is actually the first one that I put gold leaf on.
Okay.
And I did it actually originally to match Lucian's frames, because he had made these frames, and his signature thing is, double painted, layered, distressed, and then with the gold leaf lip, he uses 22 karat gold leaf lip around it. And so that
Awesome.
I said, oh, I should bring that out in the piece. And then once I did that, I decided I need to do all of them like that.
Yeah,
To kind of have a
and
little,
that black and gold style, I've seen it with other artists that like that. Modiotech, Asanoa, the black
great
and the
artist.
gold are
Yeah.
becoming iconic.
Yeah, I
There's
actually
that
had a
bird.
lady come up to me in Nashville in 24, and I think, yeah, that Buddha, she really liked the Buddha, and she really wanted me to add color to it. It was it was hard for her to, you know, to like the piece otherwise. Like, she really, really wanted to tell me how much it should have color in it, and that, she would get it if it just had some color.
Like all around in the background and stuff.
Yeah, you could fill it out. I'd love to color it actually. I've had the idea to make that into a print and then colorize it.
Yeah,
And I did that with the piece. It's the Mayan Bitcoin piece. It's got
I must have that.
Mayan Lord. I sent you
Oh,
both
there we go.
versions.
That one.
There's the colorized version. Yeah. So that one I got a high res scan of, and then I took it to a digital printer, and he made me a 3 foot by 4 foot rendition of that. And then I brought it home and I hand painted it. So that's all hand painted.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What do you use for the painting? Like what type of paint or color?
Those are just acrylic paint.
Acrylic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see for a different style, I mean, different flavors for different folks. They see, this one, it's really based in a way. It draws out the right features, and the black and the white is bold. And then for the color, it's just different. I think it's both nice to have options there, but most of what your work is oh, that's the same one from the side.
Yeah.
Um, most of it is black ink, and then you'll add gold foil.
Yeah. I use these small pins called micron pigment, micron pins. And
Yeah.
they come in different widths. So you can have a very, very, very tiny pen stroke. It's measured at 0.005, and then they go up to about what I use, about an 8 or a 10. I usually actually stick between like 0.005 and 2.
So, like, yeah, whether you're doing fill or these
Yeah.
fine
Yeah. So they're
textures.
just really, really tiny, tiny little lines. And I don't know, you get into it, you get into the space. I did a lot of painting before I started with these pens. It's something that developed during COVID lockdown. So I had a time and a space and a tiny desk, and just decided to
Yeah,
do something new. And
you
that's when
know,
the Bitcoin art started.
I have heard that so many times where people really connected with something different, at least, or perhaps with themselves, or stopped for a moment and got some perspective. For a lot of people, COVID in that time was when they found Bitcoin, or maybe dug into what is it that I'm doing, like in a weird, crazy, ridiculous world. Like, what is it that I'm doing, or what is
Mm-hmm.
going on here? So
Yeah.
we stopped and reflected about a lot of things. And you with your dad, right? Your dad was into Bitcoin,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah. He was
together.
my Bitcoin buddy for when we first, yeah, we started buying Bitcoin, and looking into other coins too, in yeah, like 2017, 20, around then. We
Hmm.
decided like, oh, what's going to happen here? But we were both really, really excited about it. But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot anyone else to talk to about it. So I totally remember that.
Yeah. You feel like you're the only person in your town that like.
I still feel like that, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh.
We find each other online.
I know.
I found one, like after like, geez, couple of years, I found one other person that I could really relate to about it. And he was like the one guy, my good buddy now. But yeah, no, it is a weird feeling. We find each other online or you go to conferences. And I should add, that's one thing about, okay, so the Vegas conference. I went last year. I've been to other conferences. Nice. And there's, in one sense, you can judge things about, oh, you know, the suits have entered, or the big money has entered, or it's a little corporate, or there's politicians there.
Yeah.
And don't mind the train. I can hear it, but that adds a little flavor.
Yeah, I'm outside. There's a train going by.
You get used to it. But here's what I love about, okay, even in Vegas, they're going to have an exhibit area for the Bitcoin art, as they have before and at other conferences. I love the fact that Bitcoin artists and the art community has entered and made a space and is really creating a lot of these relationships about how people connect with Bitcoin and what it means more broadly, because it's not just the tech, it's not just the finance and the economics and the math or the smart guys and all these things. Some people are attracted to that, but most people need a sense of connection or relationship, and they're thinking about broader things as it grows its roots into your soul in a way. So I'm really glad for the art that's going to be in Vegas.
Yeah, the conferences, the art gallery is pretty amazing. I think it's a way to expose people to other aspects of Bitcoin that they haven't been exposed to, because maybe they do come to the conference for just this one, way of understanding Bitcoin, whether it's through mathematics or through maybe they're, selling their products or this or that, and going to see all these works of art reflecting Bitcoin back is going to give people, there's so many different ideas and so many artists reflecting their ideas through the art. You just can't miss the art gallery.
Yeah. I think a number of years ago, one of the first conferences I went to, I went for other reasons. And then I was like, oh, they have art here too. So I just very casually, and that was in Miami. So nice. I'm just perusing the art gallery, and I spent so much time there just going, oh, like I've seen these, or they've been online, they were memes, or the Pepe stuff, or other things, a variety of stuff, from which I really got connected to that level of interest, and that, oh, art is so much of where it's at too, just enlightening our spirits around what Bitcoin means, and can we fully grasp it, because it's so much.
Yeah, what does it mean, and what's it going to become, and what are we all going to do? There's a lot to think about. And I feel like art is a way to say those things non-verbally, and people look at them and then they create their own ideas about it inside their heads and get inspired, hopefully, and go on to maybe do something else or do something different.
Yeah, it's inspiring. And for people that are like, oh, I'm a creative type, maybe there's a space here for me to participate, or some people go off and do a podcast, some people write a book. A lot of people are artists. And there's something about, you touched upon it, but a sense of the divine in Bitcoin, where the mystery of Satoshi, who was he, where did he come from? Now, granted, he built on the shoulders of giants, but there's a miracle of it all. It unleashed fire like Prometheus upon the world, and then he disappeared. And there's all kinds of theories about kind of like Bitcoin came to us when we were ready for it or needed it. But I like those kinds of ideas, the mystery of Satoshi and Bitcoin itself as a gift to humanity in a way.
Yeah, it's a legend now. He's a myth maker, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's pretty heavy in Bitcoin is just the kind of stories that we keep creating to explain it to ourselves,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's beyond us. So we make
it
stories
is.
and connect the dots.
Right?
Now, when I look at the frame as well, you describe this, but the gold leaf and the black, it's a, it's a perfect layout.
Isn't it gorgeous? That's again, Lucian Frames is my frame maker. I commissioned him, and that frame I bought as a kind of a set. There's two of those. There's a twin. So that one went to El Salvador and actually stayed in El Salvador. Um, and I've held on to the sister frame to that all this time, and it'll be exhibited in Vegas this year with the Krishna piece in it, the baby Krishna.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to be in Vegas in a few weeks yourself?
I surely hope so. Yes, I have a flight. I have a hotel. I just as long as I make it on that plane and everything's okay here, there's nothing I need to take care of here, then I'll be there. I'd feel rather sad to ship those pieces and then not see them exhibited. But I wanted to also ensure that they went whether I did or not. So,
I do imagine it would be kind of fun to. Now, some artists are quite anonymous and remain anonymous, and but it would be fun to have your art up and to be maybe quasi unknown, but you get to watch people appreciate the art, and they don't necessarily know that you're the artist. And I don't know. I think it would be fun to watch
like
people
stand
watch
back and voyeur people watching your art.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to like live see people have that experience with your own art.
Whether you're there or not.
Well, like if you're there, like you could lurk
okay.
around and see people.
I do that.
Checking it out.
I definitely do that. I also stand right next to my art and try to field questions, but I think I'm going to do a little less of that this year, and just I didn't get enough exposure to everything else in conference world, so this year I want to go definitely check out some stuff I missed last year. And I've seen some cool speakers, and I've seen there's several artists that are speaking, so I'm excited. I saw that Mir One is speaking, and Rare Skrilla, and going to be an art panel, I believe. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin Art Magazine is a great contribution as far as the art gallery in your hands. So like if you haven't gotten yours, you can get one. Speaking to the audience here, it's beautifully done and features a lot of great artists. Now you get into the Mayan stuff here, or at least the style of it. I love the details.
That was a special piece.
UAP and hey, JFK is flipped on there.
That's GPS, UAP, JFK, PCT.
What's PCT?
Paranoid conspiracy theorist.
Oh, hey, I fit the bill. You got the block height. It's old tech, which also remains quite mysterious, meets new. On the right, pick your pill. BTC, THC, DMT, LSD. They're all on, looks like.
Yeah, those are all high functioning.
I'll just pick them all. And apropos to Vegas, it's like a game, a slot
that
machine.
one was called Slot Machine, Time Machine. So I'm trying to create a portal for those that look into it and see into the future. And then there's dates, I believe, like where it would show the rewards for what you get on the slot machine. You get below that, there's some dates that I picked out.
Oh,
they have significance each of those dates. So there's like a white paper day is on there, and I believe in the beginning of the Federal Reserve.
The last subsidy reward.
Yes, the last mine Bitcoin date in the future. So it's got past dates and then future dates on it. So the idea is you go into the slot machine, and it's a portal, and you get sucked in there, and you get to transfer yourself to these other time periods.
I hadn't noticed that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might get lucky. Which one do you want to go to?
Right.
Yeah. I might, you accumulate a little Bitcoin, maybe you can go to 2140. Different world.
Well, there's that whole idea that do we affect time if time travel is possible and you go back into it? Are you going to just by being there itself, are you going to change, alter the current future?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the paradox,
Yeah.
collision of time threads. I don't know how that works,
Not yet.
but space time itself. There are things in this world that do seem possible.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me about this one. Which one?
That's a
Divinity.
piece I made specifically for BitBlock Boom last year, and I like doing memorabilia, or like honoring certain places and times, if I can, if I have time. So this one, I researched, it was in Austin, and I was looking for images that evoked something in me, but that spoke to that location. And there was this huge statue. um, I think it was in the AT&T building, and
Okay.
he'd been moved around. Actually, he'd been moved around the country, and he's also an older statue. It's this huge. I think he was called Spirit of Communication, also known as Golden Boy statue, and he was holding lightning bolts, and then he was wrapped in these like electrical cables and on an orb. And so I just found that really beautiful. Wanted to render that, and yeah, kind of put him in the clouds there, and did the little gold leaf on lightning bolts and around him, and it worked out good.
With the zaps, I like it.
Yeah.
Now, are we progressing somewhat forward, roughly in time of your as your?
Yeah. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, that piece is that was kind of my main piece last year for Vegas. This one was extremely detailed. I don't know if you zoom in, you can see the details. I think it's high res enough, but this one is got a huge gold leaf Bitcoin in the middle, and then on the left and right side you have an angel and a devil, and they're in this. It's called the battle for good and evil, um, and the soul of humanity. That was it. And I was really going for this really old look. Was taking a lot of imagery from like Albert Durr, old Renaissance stuff, and then also kind of mixing it with some of my stuff that I thought was cool, and threw in there. I got the Iosaur on there in the top
Yeah,
right,
they've got their minions behind them.
and the minions. Yeah, and so they're in a they're in a battle scene. They're the forces are facing off. Giving to my idea on this one was like, what's the future Bitcoin hold, is who's going to win. Um,
And
Thinking really of just Bitcoin being such a pure and a good thing. A really like original idea coming from humans. Is it going to end up getting, um, you know, taken advantage of, prostituted, just like a lot of really good art and good music and good ideas have been taken and just, kind of
yeah,
sold out, is that what's going to happen here? So that was the idea behind that, but putting it in a way visually that I liked.
yeah, fiat and high time preference enters any good thing at some level. Like, people like it for good reasons, and then there are ways that, you know, not that it happens every time, but there are the allures of corrupting forces that can cash out or co-opt it. And people worry about that with Bitcoin, in its own way, that as a base protocol, it just simply works. But then people's on ramps and off ramps can be sort of directed or controlled, or create these little walled gardens and things around it where,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, we're pro Bitcoin, but you don't necessarily have the sovereignty anymore. But we see that going on for sure.
But the idea is still here, and that's
Yeah.
what I love about Bitcoin, is that the people are really behind it and really in love with it, or are here for those reasons, because we want something that won't be co-opted and can't be used back against us, and that's what we really want and need. And let's just keep fighting for it.
Yep. And ultimately, if you can run a node and transact with others and
Mhm.
self custody, it works. So, and we can. And then there's in the frame there.
Yeah, that was a pretty big piece.
How big is this one about?
The paper, so you can see that I drew all the way to the very edges of the paper on this one, and then I
Mm-hmm.
floated it on top of a mat board. So there's like an extra 1.5 inches, but the paper itself is 19 by 26 inches, and then give it an extra inch there, and then the frame is probably 2.5 inches wide. So
And it's got that authentic kind of worn edge feel.
yes, that's that printmaking paper.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's what I've used since I started at printmaking paper. Um, because it's very durable, and I'm really harsh with my pieces.
Well, I can imagine that. I don't know if you ever need to like start in pencil or erase, but if you're working something over again and again and drafting yourself, yeah, you can. It's like, oh boy, am I going to
Oh
wear
yeah,
this paper out?
no, I definitely start in pencil.
Now, this is an etching or an engraving. It looks like
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So just in the last year, I've started studying copper plate engraving or etching. It's one of the intaglio. Um, intaglio etching is a really old form of printmaking, and I'm fortunate to have a good friend that is a master printmaker. He taught for a lot of years, and he got his master's in printmaking, and so he knows all the different types of printmaking. And I started asking him about making handmade prints that would be complementary to my style, my real fine lines that I like to use. And he said copperplate. You got to go copperplate. That's where you're going
Copper
to be able
plate.
to pull the finest lines possible. And so I said, okay, well, that's what I want to do. So um, that started about a year ago. I have a few. I think the one I just made for the print for Vegas is my 5th plate, and it's also the largest one that I've flushed out and then printed all on my own. The very first one I did, it's actually this one here that you're showing. This is
Uh-huh.
a picture of just a portion of it, but I had this is the plate before it's finished. So this is where you paint a layer of ground on it, and that's the dark brown color, and then you
Gotcha.
reveal the copper with a pointed scribe, with a metal scribe, and that you carve off the ground to do in those lines that you want, and it reveals the copper. Then it goes into an acid solution, and that eats away. It's called biting. It bites the copper. Once that is finished, then you wash it all off, and then you have your copper plate. Then you ink it and wipe it, and you make a singular print, and then you
And I
make it
imagine
you want.
you've got to learn how to use the medium as well, like different than a pen where
Yeah.
I mean, so for example, I've scratched words onto steel, and um, it can be,
Well,
well,
that's
for
engraving.
one, okay, okay, gotcha. So
That's
that's
engraving.
different.
This is etching is when you use a ground, and then
Gotcha.
you keep most of the copper unexposed, and the copper resists. Sorry,
Oh,
the
okay.
ground resists the acid, and but if a lot of old school printmakers also just did it straight engraving, wood engraving or engraving in metal. Um, it's a slightly different look once you print it. It's a little rougher. So my teacher said that you'll get a lot smoother lines with the etching. So I said, well, I just want to start there. I want to get the
Okay,
best
for
results
sure.
possible. So that's what I've been trying to do, and it is different than a pen.
More forgiving, I imagine, because if you're actually trying to scratch and your hand gets worn out, or it can slide on you and whatever. So,
Yeah,
um,
there's a lot of factors to it. Like you actually have to get the ground the right viscosity. I thin out the ground is called asphaltum.
oh,
It's like this kind of sticky liquid brown substance. You paint it on there and then it dries. But if you don't thin it out with paint thinner, it's very, very thick, and it's harder to pull those lines out. So you thin it a bit, but then you don't want to get it too thin. And then sometimes it dries and it has little like uh, little dots or nodes or something, little pieces of dust, and you can
Yeah.
put that wrong, and then you accidentally pull off something. It's
Residue artifact stuff.
yeah, I'm just learning techniques on how to correct, but it's not very easy. You have to really want to correct something. So most of the time, if I do something I'm not really intending to, I go, that's just there now.
So a bit of a learning curve with this here. Or
Yeah.
you make something and then you're kind of contemplating like, do I just leave that or do I try to fix that?
How important is it, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty perfectionist though, so I try to get it. If I got something, it might be something no one else sees, but if I see it and I don't like it, I'm gonna correct it.
Yeah. With art, I can, got to be classic where something that nobody would ever really see or just take for granted, that's all you can see as the creator.
Yeah.
Playing cards.
That is
Perfect for Vegas.
Yeah, that was for Vegas last year. Now that I didn't show in the gallery, but I was so excited about my new, my new skill set with this is the first intaglio etching, and I decided I wanted to make a homage to Vegas.
Oh, this is an etching?
25, and that is an etching, and that was put together on my part pretty quickly, and I feel like there's a lot of blank space when I'm looking at it now. But you know what? I hadn't quite gotten to I was a little rushed on this. I tend to do that to myself, and I didn't have time or even a printing press at that point. So my teacher helped me at the local art museum go in and made a few prints before they kicked him out. And I just had about 10 of them, and I brought them, and I ended up giving them to friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was my very first plate, but not my first printing attempt. Abellino did those. Shout out to Abellino. He's my printmaking teacher.
And every great student has a great mentor, of course. And
He's the best.
I'd be remiss if I didn't point out Bitcoin Art Magazine. You can find many artists' inspirations here, as well as yours.
I did make it into the Genesis issue, yes.
Genesis edition. Which of your art pieces were in this one?
I have a full page of the Bitcoin Buddha, one of my first pieces. And then I have a half page of the Madonna and Child with holding Bitcoin. Yeah, they did such a beautiful job with the magazine. So exciting to see it finally come out in December after so many months of, anticipation and waiting, and they did such a beautiful job. I can't wait to see the next issue.
Yeah. Asanoa and Kisa and others have been working really hard putting that together. And it's nice to have a magnet of sorts that, like, there's artists out there, but you don't always know what you don't know. And this helps connect a lot of people together and find each other. They've got chat groups and their own podcasts. And that's how I found a lot of artists such as yourself.
Cool.
Through this and the podcasts, and I'd reach out to artists because I love it.
Nice.
Detail work on the one we saw before. And then you've got in there, that looks like it could be from a real dollar bill.
Yeah, that was the back of the one. And then I believe I have pieces of a 5 in there too, and a 10.
There was
just these little tiny bursts of color. It was mostly black and white, but
is that Lincoln?
Yeah.
I think I see Lincoln poking out there. Yeah, that's cool.
It was a fun piece.
There's
same
the bottom full piece here. Some of this style, it reminds me of Mayan psychonaut type stuff, like the what do they call this one?
That's the
Palenque astronaut.
Yeah, that's the cover of the sarcophagus for Pakal, the king of Palenque, one of the kings. And that is the one that people will use to say there's UFO download.
Right.
Yeah, within the Mayans.
Like, oh,
Predicting
he's got to be in a
the
cockpit.
cross. Yeah, yeah. No, people say that it's a spaceship, but
The
it's really
only,
beautiful.
say that again.
It's very beautiful, and
Oh,
that's
yeah, yeah.
the actual sarcophagus lid is. It's really big. It's like
Have you
50
seen it?
feet. I think I have. Yes, yeah, in Palenque. Yeah.
They, what do they call it? Stella or Stelle? Stella.
Oh, Stella. Yeah, those are the tall standing statues.
Because they carve very deeply into rock. I mean, you think about the time required to chip and chip or chisel into hard stone to make these reliefs. And let's see, it's been a few years, but we went down to Mexico, Yucatan Peninsula. We went to, my family and I went to Chichen Itza.
Yeah.
Um, that's the extent of what I've seen, though. And we weren't allowed, like, into a lot, but you did see a lot of these reliefs around. And where all of you traveled? You've gone to Honduras, Belize. Where have you been?
I've been fortunate to see a lot of Mayan ruins because I got taken down there at a young age, and I just fell in love with being down there for one, and then also the Mayan art. And so I took upon myself as a young adult to go down there a couple more times, and then I have also over the years just gone back. So I've been to Palenque, Copan in Honduras, um, uh, Tikal. Those are the like three huge kind of major cities, and then also some smaller ones in Belize, Cajalpec, the one where they supposedly found the crystal skulls, Labantun,
Mm,
um, and then another one that's more in like central, right below Yucatan and above Guatemala is it's actually really really big. I'm blanking on the name right now. It starts with a
hmm.
C. Another one I've been to is Ekbalam. Um, they're they're just so great. I love going to Mayan ruins. I mean,
Do
I
you think?
encourage anybody that has the ability to do that to like go a little deeper. Like say you're just in Yucatan area, if you have a little more time, try to see more than Chichen Itza is beautiful. I actually have not been there, but I heard it's pretty touristy, and I know it's like pretty easy
Yeah,
to get to from the airport in Cancun. But um, yeah, if you can go to some of the smaller sites where there's less people and you actually get time just to sit there, go like at the end of the day where everybody's gone and you can actually sit there and just be alone,
and
sitting on like
it starts to get
in front
quiet.
of one of those old statues or something. It's getting dark and
Oh,
listening to
wow.
the jungle. That's like my favorite shit.
What's amazing is just how many there are. Like you think of like, okay, like Egyptian pyramids. Okay, they're here and they're there, but it's unbelievable how much of this ancient stuff and large stonework is all over. And the more they look or use, modern technology to look down in through the vegetation, and they're finding more all the time. It's all over out there. It's
Yeah.
just amazing to think about.
Yeah. They just have found that too, the LiDAR technology in the last, I don't know, 15 years, I think.
Yeah,
And yeah, like that's just completely turned archaeology on its head. I mean, you don't have to just go out and survey the land, and you before it was basically guessing. We think this is over here. Let's dig over there. And now they can. Well, you have to fund yourself a plane, fly over. But once you do that, you get these large areas, and you know exactly what's underneath in terms of height.
yeah, or like
Incredible.
a random set of hills or a hill, and they fly a
Mhm.
drone around it, and they're like, "Oh, there's
Mhm.
roads, there's structures. It's just covered. I mean, 1 century of rainforest jungle growth, and it's buried."
Yeah,
So
yeah. The jungle eats it up.
it's
But I
just
love it.
fascinating.
I want to live down there someday. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's such a spirit to it, and now I'm not nearly as travel experienced as you are, but just now, granted, I'm a tourist and I'm a gringo, but the places I've been all over in Mexico and in Central America, just very genuine, polite people. And my son did a high school trip down to Peru, and it was immersive, where they worked on a farm and they helped build some stuff, and they spent some time like with the people and being low key about it all. And just feeling that connection to people, that like they had a more simple life. You slow down, and just that relationship with, life itself is different from what we're used to, or
Yeah.
the comforts we have, So,
Yeah. I think I'm missing that.
about how often do you get down there?
I I haven't been down, or really I haven't been much anywhere. I mean, last time I was out of the country, I went to adopting Bitcoin in El Salvador, but I
Uh-huh.
spent my time at the conference for the most part. It was raining a lot. We did have plans. I
Mm.
really wanted to see some ruins that I'd heard about, and I was scoping out which ones the best ones we could see in our little time there. But um, yeah, I've had less and less time to travel in the last few years for some family issues, and
Mm.
I miss it so much. But it's okay. I'll hopefully make it out again. Yeah, I've pretty much spent most of my traveling in that area, Mesoamerica. When I was younger, I got a chance to go to Southeast Asia, and I did go to see Angkor Wat, which
Oh,
is
wow.
really amazing ruins.
Yeah, that's huge
Yeah,
too. It's like a city.
yeah, yeah. Angkor is beautiful. I'd love to go there again. And I've never been to Europe, so I love all that old stuff too. I can't wait to go see Europe someday. It's on my list.
And the parallel with Bitcoin, the immutable ledger, it's like the stuff that has lasted through time has been stuff that people made a lot of effort. And I would say things we don't know how to replicate today, or we don't fully understand how they did some of this stuff, but they carved it in stone. At least what we have left, a lot of this stuff is carved in stone. Things about, I mean, like Inca stonework,
Oh yeah,
giant blocks fit just perfectly like a puzzle.
right? How did they do that?
So, do we know? Yeah. Uh,
I don't think we do.
I don't think we really, at least, I think what can be frustrating is that here's soapbox opinion here is that, you know, uh, informational explorers will study various things about it and have ideas, and even well backed up researched ideas. And then legacy traditional archaeology, like in Egypt, archaeological ministers of that just say, nope, this is how it happened, da, 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 and that doesn't make sense.
Right.
Or it kind of almost oversimplifies what it was for.
Mm-hmm.
Tombs for kings, and yeah, they just had slave labor. And it's like, okay, really? Because we keep finding more and more crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyway, I I have wonderings about old magical technology before the ice age. I don't know.
Same here. I love all that ancient civilizations, all
Um,
the all the theories, all the wonderings. I think those are perfectly fine. And mainstream archaeology, it's always their job just to explain it. It's their theories. They build their theories upon other theories. And if you ask too many questions to disprove what it's already been taken for granted, then you get shut out.
right.
And I've never really liked that very much about the discipline, but it's
Well, and the academic territory can be like that, where people built their body of research on stuff they studied and what they
mm-hmm,
figured out at the time, and then
mm-hmm,
they will spend a career like defending that and fighting new ideas,
mm-hmm.
not always in the spirit of science. I mean, really, it's like
Right.
political. So,
Yeah.
or a conspiracy. I was just, and I'm half joking there, but I'm looking at my phone because just earlier today, I just stumbled upon a podcast with Tim Alberino, and he has done a lot of travels down there. He's made a podcast of his own. And what podcast is this on here? Jesse Michaels, American Alchemy. Anyway, I just started it, and he gets into, if you're open to woo woo and some of
Mm-hmm.
this stuff, like the ancient ruins and then maybe what it means. It's wild because it gets into apocryphal books of the Bible, the Book of Enoch,
Mm-hmm.
old stories that were like left out of the Bible, but were old stories, stuff about Gilgamesh and old stuff. Anyway, I can't say I hang my head on it. I just find it fascinating. So, but your
I'll check it out.
artwork touches that.
I hope so. I hope that people can look at my artwork and understand a bit of where I'm coming from without even putting it into words. That's part of what I want to do, but we'll see. You know, people can see whatever they want in it. That's great too.
Yeah, you're not completely defining it for people, but you're opening
No,
mysteries. Yeah.
I'm not. And yeah, you'll see. Yeah, I'm kind of purposely elusive. Oh my
Uh-oh.
God.
Your
Wow.
panther attacked you.
Oh my God.
Is that the Mayan cheetah?
See what God just did?
Don't tell me. Is that one of your recent works?
It's a really old painting of mine, actually.
Okay, the
put it
paint
there
was dry.
all the other ones I didn't want to like break, and I'm really glad I didn't put them there because that would have been a mess. So hold on one second.
I'm just glad it wasn't drying still.
No,
You have paint on your head.
that's a super old painting. Wow. All right.
Well, it's a good backdrop.
Is that going to be the moment that you highlight for the
the short clip I put on repeat?
short clip? Me getting knocked in the head with my own painting.
No worries, no embarrassment.
It's fine.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think I was like touching
blew.
the point right there, but what I was saying was that I don't always know what I'm talking about with my art. I do have these ideas and I put them out there, whether I've like completely researched them or not. I might just be saying, maybe this. And then I usually get taken over with like the impulse to create something visually, like something that's so visually stunning to me that I want to recreate it. And I do borrow a lot. I see something, I want to make it mine. I want to take it and then I want to put it back out there. And you'll see that a lot with my work. So
there's a lot of mystery to tap into, and no matter what culture it is, there's these cultural threads that run in parallel. The cherubim here.
Oh yeah, that's a clean copper plate after I've done the etching. That's after it's come out of that acid bath I was talking about. It's wiped clean, and that's what it'll look like before you ink it. And that was my second plate. I actually have decided to make this one an open edition, so I'll just print it until you can't anymore. At some point, the copper plate starts degrading.
Oh, I see.
And I made a little batch over the holidays for Christmas, and one of them I just sent to BitBlock Boom for Scarce Cities auction. I think it's dropping tomorrow, actually.
Oh, cool.
That was the original drawing.
So you took this and made an etching.
Yeah, the original drawing was in pen.
A version of it, yeah.
And then I took that and then I transferred that on there and made an etching out of it. Yeah.
So you can make prints from etchings. You can make a handful of them, and then it'll start to degrade.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I've haven't made more than the 21 series, but apparently you can make maybe 40, maybe 40 to 60. I don't know these things yet. I'm going to learn. I hope to get really far down this copper plate etching rabbit hole before I get tired of it. There's a lot more I want to do.
A new medium. That's fun.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And learning as you go. This is ink.
That's the etching that's coming to Vegas.
Oh, this is an etching.
Yeah, that's the baby Krishna. So it's baby Krishna in the Bitcoin butter. I really, really like this piece because it's not only homage to Bitcoin, but it is a homage to like India and my mother's love for India. She traveled there when she was younger, and she's been my inspiration for so long, but she's always had a lot of art and inspiring things and items around. And so she had this old print and it was like falling apart. I actually had to piece it together. When I found it, it was falling apart, but I remember seeing it from when I was a kid, and it was this print of little baby Krishna in the butter pot, and that's like a common myth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he gets into the butter and shares it with his friends. He steals the freshly churned butter over and over again. He's like the
Naughty
goofiest
Krishna.
baby. Yeah. So, and I made that in the style of like an old vintage stamp from India.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank
21
you.
cents. What you've been an artist for a long time. I mean, and for years before you found Bitcoin, and you've done you're also a rigger, and so you um, we, as many of us do, you fit this in around a daytime job or gigs or events, and so
Hmm.
now you've translated. Now, for one thing, there's the balance of having a job, doing your job, getting home tired, and then having some time and energy to carve out to do artwork.
Yeah.
Finding that balance can be hard. You have applied that to a lot of mural work. You've done. I've seen you up on scaffolding painting large murals as well. So,
Yeah.
um,
That's also something I like to do as they come along. I don't particularly go out looking for mural work these days, but if it comes
mhm.
to me in the right form, I'll absolutely take a look at it. Um, I have yet to do a Bitcoin mural, and I look forward to that day,
Yeah,
whether it's local or somewhere else in the country or overseas.
yeah, that'd be awesome. Like so,
Oh, it's definitely going to happen sometime,
Bukele needs one on a big building somewhere in San Salvador, and they'll
right?
commission you. Yeah,
Hit me
that'd
up,
be
Kaylee.
yeah,
Fly me down there.
that'd be awesome. And you enjoy it. Your husband does that as well, right? Helps work
Yeah,
on murals.
yeah. He's also an artist and muralist. He's brilliant, and we've worked on several mural jobs together over the years.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Our town here, little old quasi-rural Oregon, the
Hmm.
Chamber of Commerce and some grant work, they commissioned, gosh, at least like a dozen or more artists, and there was a push to just get a bunch of murals all over town. And so, because there's various buildings and stuff, and they colored it up on all kinds of old buildings that had brick walls facing streets and whatever, and small ones, medium ones, large ones. And there are several artists did a couple of them, but they spent like a week all over town in the summer. A couple of years ago, you could walk through town and just sit and watch and talk to artists, and they were working on them steadily day after day after day, and you saw the whole town erupt
Nice.
in murals. It was
So kind
cool.
of like a mural festival. There was
Yeah,
all these
yeah,
artists working on the murals at the same time.
yeah. It was
Yeah,
a
I think
mural
that's
art festival.
wonderful.
Yeah, and they're
Very
great.
cool.
They're connected to, like, history here in Oregon.
Hmm.
Various culture, Native American, pioneer, more recent history, and it's cool. Each one of them is really great. Um,
That's great.
okay, something totally different here. Let me bring to stage. Where was it? We saw Wotan. Whoa, there. The zombie is this
Oh
a?
yeah.
I love it.
Thank
He's
you.
got.
That's Fiat Zombie. I was inspired to do him last year. I think I also put a little bit of rush on that. I sometimes I get these ideas and I give myself these dates and I say I got to do that now. And so that was just my third plate, my third etching plate, and I was really, really happy with this, how this came out. And also, I learned so much about it because I was trying to figure out how to get a black with just line work. There are many techniques for getting black in an intaglio plate, like aqua tinting and mezzotint rocking, which I haven't done yet. I'm still just patiently pulling lines with my little scribe tool. But the black in his jacket is three sets of lines. I think I have like a diagonal crosshatch and then a third, straight line or something. And then
Hmm.
I was pretty happy with how dark that printed. You just don't know until you actually ink it and wipe it. You just don't know how it's going to look or like how much ink each line is going to take or how much you've taken off or left off or whatever. So, but yeah, that
Yeah.
was meaning behind that was, well, Fiat is dead, and here's his peddler, the zombie in front of
Take
the
my money.
building, and Yeah, again, I like to play with humor a bit.
That's funny.
And yeah, just challenging myself to do something new. And yeah, I was pretty happy with that. It was really fun. And I love the printing process itself. I ended up getting myself a little press, is just a 10-inch press. So I can only go up to about 9 inches wide of a plate
Okay.
itself. This one was 5x7. This one worked great. It was like the perfect size for my little press.
So once it's etched, you press them to make.
Yeah. So the copper plate, once you have that ready, you clean it off. Then there's an inking process. You get I use oil-based ink, and then a wiping, and the wiping. That's what makes it each one an original. So they're handmade prints, and each one is very much an original. It's different than just running off like a set of digital prints, because those are going to all look exactly the same, which
Right.
is cool too. But each one of these is going to look different because the way you wipe off the ink after you apply the ink, it goes into the lines, it covers the plate, and then you use tarlatan. It's a like kind of a cheeseclothy type fabric, a hard cheesecloth, and you wipe off the ink, and you have to do that very delicately too. How you wipe it off creates atmosphere, and then you can polish it, and so you can pull off and create lights and darks with just the ink, and every single one is going to be a little different.
Yeah. So every step of the way, I mean, there's an art and craft to not just the etching, but the inking and the cleaning off and the pressing um, and you don't always know what you're going to get, but each one's unique and they're limited in number that you can actually do. So you got that inherent scarcity there too. And
Yeah, you would. I'm also learning about that. I'm reading some books and then questioning my teacher. What are the rules here and regulations in the art world, and this, like, handmade print artwork world, and how you cite your print. You have the number, the title, and usually your name and the date. But in terms of the numbering and the additions, can I play with that a little bit? What does this mean? And I want to kind of stay true to tradition, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to fumble that too. I'll probably end up doing my own thing. I do. I have a project in mind. I can't really talk about it right now, but I've got some things in mind that I want to do that I are not going to just by what it is. It's not going to stay in like the traditional printmaking. Like, this is a print piece.
interesting.
And like, this is the number. Like, I don't think that's going to work out for these ideas and concepts.
A different medium, you think, or are you going to stick with some etching?
No, I'm going to continue etching right now. Yeah, but as terms of like making these art editions for the art world, I don't know. I have some other ideas too.
That leads me to one of my last questions here. I was curious kind of where this may be going next. So you can keep it private as you like. I guess we'll be surprised.
Yeah, more to come. I'm really excited about Vegas. I really look forward to seeing you there in the art gallery, and I look forward to seeing all my artist buddies and just the gallery itself, and just be with people who are into Bitcoin. Like,
totally
get it a whole lot around here.
It'll be fun. Yeah. And there's a gestalt to something that, like, you go to a conference maybe for certain reasons, and once you're there, the people you run into, the vibe you have, the vibe, the conversations you have, it ends up being like more than what you expect. There was times where it's like I'd be talking to people and doing stuff and just into a community, and I'd be like, that talk and all that, I can watch a talk online, or it's Sailor again, or who is that? There's some that I want to make, and other times I'm like, you know what? I'm missing lectures because I'm enjoying the community. So it's fun.
Yeah.
Let me I'll show people where they can find you. Oh yeah, so I should point out on Instagram, you've got a lot of your work here as well. Stuff that we didn't cover, but you're quite prolific. I was looking for pictures of your scaffolding. There you are.
That's funny because I post so much more on X right now than I do on Instagram. I've kind of fallen off on the Instagram, but Instagram goes back really far. So if anyone's curious of like what I was doing 10 years ago, just scroll on down.
Yeah.
Um,
And a lot of different styles as well, for sure. Going back, a lot of nice murals there.
Thank you.
So yes, on Instagram, you can find Ariel, Instagram.com/Ariel Birdie. You can find her there. Your website. I meant to show this earlier, but you can go to arielbird.com. She's got her artwork, information about her. You can buy art from Ariel here. You can click on Art Store. You can find stuff that you might like. And available for commission. Maybe you're busy, but hey.
Does it say that?
Well, I guess I'm just saying that. Perhaps you're too busy, but you can contact Ariel here, and I just
You can contact me there. Yeah.
fill out the form to inquire about commissions.
Oh,
Maybe you need to change that because you're busy.
maybe I do. I mean, I'd love to get contacted on there. I haven't gotten much from that website yet, but it is a beautiful website. Miss Naomi, See As Medicine, put that together for me last year. And I do need to go in the back end and change some few things, like the Noster link. I need to put my new Noster link on there.
Yeah, you have a new.
You can also get to that site at if you put in arielbirdie.com, it'll also send you there. So it's arielbirdie.com or arielbird.com.
Arielbirdie.com.
Those prints, there's 3 different prints available on there. There's Madonna and Child. I have a 21 edition of that. The Bitcoin Buddha, there's about 10 of those left. And the Ganesha, there's plenty of Ganesha left too, if anyone's interested.
So here's what's available. You can go to Ariel Bird or arielbirdie.com, find the store. Here's what's available. You can have your own Buddha, your very own Buddha. That's got to be a popular one.
It is. It's one of my very favorites. And I'll hand paint the part that mimics the gold leaf of the original. I hand paint it to look like gold leaf.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. They're nice and big too. Those Buddha prints are about 16 by 22 inches.
That is awesome. Now on Noster, you can be found. You have created a resurrected account in a sense, but Ariel Birdie. If you search for Ariel Birdie, you'll see that her profile pic is her most recent work. So that's the profile pic you're looking for there, folks.
Thank you.
You'll find her. When I search for you, I find 2 of them, and
there's 2 of them. Yeah. Oh,
one's just older, but you've lost connection with it. So, so you can find Ariel on Noster, Ariel Birdie. There we are right now, and on X. You're on X. You can search for at Ariel Birdie. So easily found. The handle.
Yeah, there's only one of those.
Awesome. Well, Ariel, this has been great. Is there anything that I didn't, of all the things I touched upon and the art we looked at, is there anything that I missed or wasn't aware of that the audience should hear?
I think you got everything. That was a super duper job, Fritz.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really like your name, by the way, too.
Yeah, it's named after my grandpa. It's like a German name. And, when I was a kid, sometimes I thought it's so weird. It's so different, but I wanted to be conformist and cool. And, it's memorable. So like Ariel Birdie, people can remember. So I look forward to seeing you in Vegas. And,
yes. We'll see you there.
We're quasi busy, perhaps. We got MicroSeed self-custody. We have a little device that stamps your seed phrase on a.
Are you going to be at that booth? Is that where I find you?
Yeah. So
at the MicroSeed booth?
Yeah, we'll have a booth in the bazaar. So we'll be there with the MicroSeed devices. We'll probably be stamping a few for fun and making these things here. So I'll be there, but I like to make my way over to the gallery and I'll keep an eye out. And if I can catch a talk, I will. But sometimes you get so busy, you're just being here now.
Yeah, it's a
So
lot of energy.
yeah, it's fun. Well, cool. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, it's been great. I'm glad that we got to touch upon so much of your art and get people connected to where they can find you. And I look forward to everything else that you're planning and coming that is still to be a surprise.
Me too. Thank you so much.
You're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. And we will catch you next time. Bye.